In this video lesson, we will be solving rational equations using proportions. What we want to do here is solve the proportion by cross-multiplying. So we're going to take 2 and multiply that by 3x plus 2, which is the expression. Then we're going to take the 10 in the numerator and multiply that by the denominator opposite, which is x plus 2, the expression in the denominator. Now from here, we are able to utilize the distributive property and then solve as a linear equation. So now I'm going to distribute that 2, and I'm going to distribute the 10. From here, the objective is to solve for x by isolating x on one side of the equation and isolating the constant term or the number on the other. In this case, I will bring a positive 10x over to the left-hand side by subtracting it. And now I will bring the constant positive 4 over to the right-hand side by subtracting it as well. Here we're left with negative 4x is equal to 16, and to solve for x, we will divide by negative 4. X is equal to negative 4. At this point, we want to check our answer into each denominator to ensure that we do not get a 0 in our denominator or the proportion will be undefined. So the last thing we want to do is check our solution in the denominator. Again, why we're doing this is so that we don't have a denominator that cannot equal 0, or the proportion would be undefined. And it's undefined because of division by 0 is undefined. In our next example, a similar type, we will now take the cross products of the expression in the numerator, or the number in the numerator, with the expression in the denominator. Once again, negative 2 times x plus 1. And then we'll take the cross product here of x minus 8 times x minus 1. In this example, we will end up with a quadratic type of equation to solve. So let's once again distribute. And then we'll use the distributive property here as well. And distribute the negative 8. Now our objective is to combine like terms, and once we do that, we will then be able to set the equation equal to 0. So now we set the equation equal to 0, and we will have a quadratic equation in which to solve. So I'm going to add 2x and bring it to the right-hand side. And then I'll add 2 and bring it to the right-hand side. So 0 is equal to the quadratic equation x squared minus 7x plus 10. I'm just going to reverse this and put the terms on the left-hand side, something I prefer to do when solving equations. Last and final step is now to factor using our AC method of factoring. So here we will end up with factors of x minus 5 times x minus 2. And now we can set each factor equal to 0 to solve. And if we solve each respective factor, we see that x is equal to 5 and x is equal to positive 2. Once again, we're going to check our solution into the denominators of the original proportion, which is up here. So if I take a 5 and replace it, I get a 4. If I take 5, I get 6. So that checks, and same thing with 2. Since there isn't a 0 in the denominator, 5 and 2 are our solutions.